looked at a map after I woke up, and yeah, I went completely the wrong direction. Even though I was in a spectacular accident, things are actually sort of looking up. I want to say that I want to follow 285 there. I don't even know what town I'm in. The thing is, I've lost myself on the map. I don't know what town I'm in. Oh, that road's no trucks. Come on, little Scott, go! Oh geez, I've lost myself again. I've gone the wrong way again, I'm doing a stupid thing. I was about to get on, apparently going the right way, and then I second-guessed myself. No, I'm not joking. Apparently, I accidentally took the, I guess you could say, scenic route that goes straight through the middle of Seattle. This should be I-5, which should basically bring me straight back down to where I want to be. Shipyard Road! I know where I am. Woo! I know this series is called Logrunner, but I'm still not running any logs. Didn't run any logs last episode, I'm definitely not running logs this episode. I actually wasn't planning on making another video so soon. But, well, basically, Wrench screwed up. So, this is the truck as it sits at the moment. So, you know, we've got the engine, which was a Cummins, from the Scot, and the cab from the Scot on the Freightliner chassis, and we've gotten the general hood all put on and everything. But the issue was trying to connect the electrics, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, Wrench claims the issue is because he doesn't really have the tools for putting stuff together, or for taking them apart, you know, being in the junkyard. Which, I think is a bunch of bull, but anyway. So his solution was to take the half-finished truck and drive it to Medford nearby, where there's a proper truck repair shop, and we could get the electrics looked at by someone who knows more what they're doing. So I figured, I might as well record it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the truck is only just barely road legal. And also, this run might end up damaging the engine. Because the Cummins engine from the Scot was set up to have an internal air intake that it just sucked it in through vents on the side of the hood. And the General doesn't have vents on the side of the hood, and the hood also isn't as wide as the Scot's hood was. So, what Rusty did instead, wrong name, what Wrench did instead was cut a hole in the hood so that the air intake could stick out the side of it, and it currently doesn't have a filter. So, that's a thing. I think Wrench went ahead and taped some paper over the opening You know, like that like filter paper. But I'm not sure if that'll survive the trip. Now, the other reason we got to go to this repair shop in Medford is because that's where my sleeper is. It's just a regular box sleeper from an old Kenworth. But it's at the repair shop, so we needed to go out there to get the sleeper at some point anyway. So Wrench was like, well, let's just take the Hodge out there. This is what we're calling it. We're calling it Hodge. And we can pick up the sleeper and get the electrics looked at. I also just noticed that he put the license plate over one of the fog lights. It's better than the rear license plate, which is bungee corded to the rear differential. Anyway, with all that being said, so we're taking a quick drive in a partially finished truck from Clement Hall to Medford. Right, now that we're back in the truck, I can show you the scope of the issue that's going on here. So, as you can see, all of the indicator lights are on, even though, like, I have the key right here in my hoof. So, the battery shouldn't even be powering these, but the lights are on, which is, I've got an extra battery on the truck, so hopefully I'll still be able to start it. And all the gauges, for some reason, are not reading normal. Let's say. It is quite unusual what's going on. What we have been able to get plugged in correctly is the starter. Oh, we also found me a GPS. We've got the starter. One of these gauges seems to be working slightly, but I'm not sure if it's working correctly. All the rest just kind of stay pointing upward. So, like, obviously they're getting power, just not the way they're supposed to. So all I've got right now is steering, blinkers, we made sure those are working, brakes, accelerator, and that's about it. Oh, and of course, you know, the shifter and clutch. So, with all that being said, let's get on over to Medford and see if they can get the rest of it figured out. Now, this truck does not have the Scot's transmission. It has a slightly better condition 13-speed that Wrench had laying around, but it does have the Scot's clutch, which is problematic, especially when I can't see my RPMs. It's longer than I feel like it is. Shit. I also need to be quite careful that I don't let any cops be directly behind me and brake really early because I don't have any taillights. We couldn't find any. That entire frickin' junkyard, we couldn't find any taillights that we could just stick on the back. Now you may be wondering at this point why we don't just use the lowboy and tow it with Wrench's truck. Well, the lowboy isn't ours, for one thing. And another friend of Wrench is borrowing his truck. going... Honestly, I'm more nervous about this run than I was about that run when I was carrying the logging machine that wasn't strapped to the trailer. I mean, like, this truck was maybe road legal in the 30s. Definitely not now. Jake brake works. We did get that connected. Oh, I also noticed that the hood ornament on this hood, it seems to have been slightly vandalized, because it just says C. Don't know what happened to the G and M. Hood doesn't have any markings on the side of it. So, I guess the rest of the plans for the truck at the moment, obviously, get the gauges working. Find some taillights, hopefully. Once we get the sleeper, we're gonna have to cut open the back of the cab so that I can get into the sleeper. And that's about it. Oh, and we need to find some airlines. The airlines that go between the truck and the trailer, we don't have any. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. We do have some. Because there were some on the Scot. I wonder what he did with that. I'm not sure if he ever took them off the chassis, which has now been probably destroyed. I will say, it's kind of weird having a hood like this on a truck with such a wide cab. Yeah, honestly, overall, I'm very excited for this truck. I think it's going to look pretty cool when we're done with it. One thing that I would like to do in the cab here is, there's no, like, air conditioning or heater controls. Also, change the radio, maybe. I want to say this Scot that this cab came from had an optional air conditioning unit you could get that was, like, on the roof, like you have in the old trucks. And, yeah, that's going to be changing. At some point in time, we're definitely putting proper climate control system in this truck. But as of right now, it's not really a primary concern. This is one of the brilliant things about the way trucks are made. Whoa! Okay then. You could never hash together parts like this from a car. At least not so easily. You know, say you wanted, like, the front end from a Dodge Charger, the front doors from, I don't know, a Chevy Impala or something, the back doors from a Ford Crown Vic, and then the trunk from some European thing, Mercedes maybe. You couldn't just do that, it's all one piece. Now, Scot, I don't think offered their trucks with a sleeper box like what we're putting on this. But what they offered instead was like a one-piece sleeper cab, like we have with modern trucks now, or like what Volvo did. If you're familiar with the Volvos from the 90s and such, that they had, it was just all one piece. I want to say that's the style of sleeper cab that Scot offered. I've done a bit of research since I brought the truck home. Because otherwise we would have just tried to find one that had a sleeper and used the cab and sleeper for it, probably, unless the sleeper was tiny. But, which the integral sleepers were tiny, which is why we didn't just use one of those. Slight change to my route here, because that was easier than trying to fight it to the left lane. This transmission is so much better. Like, honestly, the actual internals, it's not that much better condition, but it feels a lot better when you're actually driving it. Funny, when we were originally thinking of what cab we wanted to use for this, we were originally thinking of like modifying a cab over cab, but that would have been a lot of work. Sorry. When he mentioned the Kenworth sleeper, I was like, well, why don't we just use the cab from the Kenworth too? He was like, oh, I don't have it. See. This isn't urgent, so I'm gonna go park around the back. Oh. I guess I can't get around the back of the repair shop like the selling one. I was gonna park over there, but apparently I'm not going to now. I'll just park it against the fence then. If they want me to move it, I can, so long as it starts. Yeah, that was it. I just figured a little update video, show off what's been done with the truck so far. Hopefully next video will actually involve some logging. Hopefully.